Good morning, students. Today I am going to start the next topic, that is the protozoan disease. Yesterday we have discussed about the bacterial and the viral disease. Now today we will discuss about the protozoan disease. Now, as clear from the name, protozoan disease are caused by the protozoa. The disease that is a protozoan disease is the malaria. You people are very familiar with the name malaria. This is caused by the protozoan plasmodium. Malaria is caused by protozoan plasmodium. Various species of plasmodium, they cause malaria. Some of them are plasmodium vivax, plasmodium malaria, plasmodium falciparum. So what happens exactly? This protozoan plasmodium, they affect the liver and the RBCs of the human body. As a result, there will be the various types of symptoms like high fever, chills, vomiting, and the person is affected from malaria. This plasmodium, it affects the liver and the RBCs of the human body. Now how it transmits? It transmits by the biting of the female mosquito anopheles. You can also say that this is the vector of this malaria disease. And now after this mosquito bites the human body, the sporozoites enters in the human body. The sporozoites are transferred in the human body. Now what are sporozoites? These are the spores or sporozoans that are parasitic in nature. So they are known as sporozoites. So malarial parasite needs two hosts to complete its life cycle. It needs two hosts to complete its life cycle. One is the mosquito anopheles and the another one is the human body. These two hosts help the plasmodium to complete its life cycle and to cause the malaria. So Plasmodium falciparum, this species of the Plasmodium, it's very serious and it can cause fatal malignant malaria. Fatal malignant malaria means the malaria that can cause even the death. So the symptoms of this are the high fever, then they are the chills, and the third one is the vomiting. Now how does the life cycle of the Plasmodium works? In the notebooks and in the exams, you have to represent this life cycle along with the diagram, whether it is asked or not. In the exam paper, every time if the questions comes about the life cycle of the Plasmodium, then you have to draw the diagram also, whether it is asked or not. So let's start with the life cycle of Plasmodium. Here I show you this cycle in the form of the flow chart, step by step, so that you can easily remember it. So life cycle of the Plasmodium, as I told you, the life cycle of the Plasmodium, they need two hosts. One is the mosquito and another one is the human body. So when the mosquito bites the human body, first step, when the mosquito bites human body, they enter the sporozoites in it, right? So these sporozoites are injected with the bite that mosquito bite the human body. After this, now these sporozoites, they are in the human body, then they reach the liver through the blood cell. Now these sporozoites, after entering the human body, they reach to the liver. sporozoites reach the liver through the blood cells. Now how they go to the liver? They move to the liver through the blood cells. After reaching the blood cells, now what will they do? They start multiplying in the liver cells. When I started the pathogenic disease, I told you one thing: every organism that is pathogenic in nature, that affects the body of the person, that particular organism first enter in that particular body, in the human body, and after that it starts multiplying. So here the next step is that after reaching the liver cell, they start multiplying in the liver cell. Right? Now after multiplying in the liver cell, these parasites start doing their work. Now what will they do? They start attacking the RBCs, that is the red blood cells, and rupture the RBCs. Now they attack after multiplying. Now they are powerful, so they attack the RBCs, and after attacking the RBCs, they rupture the RBCs. Now after attacking the RBCs, they release a toxic substance that is known as hemozoin, which is responsible for the chills and the fever that are caused by the malaria. So after attacking the RBC, they release a toxic substance that is called hemozoin, that is responsible for the fevers and the chills. Now after this substance, this is all the multiplication of this liver cell, the attacking, and this multiplication is a result of the asexual reproduction. Now after releasing this substance, this protozoan, they become the sexual. Now they starting developing their sexual stages in the red blood cell. So here they starting their developing the sexual stages. Where they starting their sexual stages? They starting their sexual stages in the red blood cells, and after the sexual stages, we are having male and female gametes in it, which are also known as gametocytes. So male and female gametes are there. These are also known as gametocytes. Now after this gametocytes, the female mosquito anopheles, they take up the gametocytes. Now this female mosquito, they again, what happens, it then again bites the infected person, and that female mosquito, they take up the female gametes. So female mosquito take up the gametocytes. Now after taking the gametocytes, there starts the fertilization and development. Now where do the fertilization and development takes place? That takes place in the mosquito's intestine, because this will form in the, now this cycle will transfer to the female mosquito. So female mosquito, here starts the fertilization and development. Now where this fertilization and development occur? In the female mosquitoes intestine. Now this development is in the female mosquito intestine. Now after this, these sporozoites, they migrate from the intestine and they rest in the salivary glands. These sporozoites, they escape from the intestine and lives in the salivary glands of that particular mosquito, and then this mosquito when again bites the human body, it releases its sporocytes in that particular human, and hence this life cycle is completed. So once again we will revise this. What happens exactly when the mosquito bites the human body? They enter the sporocytes in it. Now these sporocytes, they reach the liver through the blood cell. After reaching the blood cell, they start multiplying in the liver cell, and this multiplication is the result of the asexual reproduction. After multiplying, they attack the RBCs and they rupture the RBCs. Now after the rupture of the RBCs, they release the toxic substance that is known as hemozoin, and this is responsible for all the chills and the fever that is caused in the disease of the malaria. Now after releasing this substance, this there occurs a sexual stages in which the male and the female gametocytes are formed. These male and female gametocytes are, when they are formed, then the female mosquito take up the gametocytes. Gametocytes is another word for the gametes. Now after there, when the female mosquito take it up, there occurs the fertilization and the development. That process covers in the intestine of the mosquito. That process, it occurs in the intestine of the mosquito, which process the fertilization and the development of the sporocytes. After that, these sporocytes, they escape from the intestine and they reach to the, or they migrate to the salivary glands. And when this mosquito again bites the healthy person, the again this cycle started again. So this is all about the life cycle of Plasmodium. Now here we are having one more protozoan disease that is known as amoebic dysentery or amoebiasis. The another protozoan disease that is known as amoebic dysentery. As clear from the name, it must be some amoeba that is causing this protozoan disease, because it is known as amoebic dysentery. So there is a amoeba that is responsible for this disease. Also known as amoebiasis, and the amoeba that is responsible for this amoebic dysentery is ant amoeba histolytica. Right? So this is found in the large intestine of the human being. Where it is found? It is found where it is located? It is located in the large intestine of the human being. And how it is transmitted? It is transmitted by the house flies. Transmitted by the house flies. This is basically of the because of the house flies that feed on the fecal matter and cause this disease. Transmitted by the house flies that are called their mechanical carrier, because this transmit the parasites from the feces of the infected person to the food. As you know, housefly, they sit on the everything. So when they sit on the fecal matter of the infected person, they, that parasite gets attached to the legs of the houseflies, and then that particular housefly, then it sits on the food, it spread all the parasites on the food, and hence that food get contaminated, and this infection is due to the contaminated food and water that is contaminated by the fecal matter. Now what are the symptoms of this amoebic dysentery? Abdominal pain, पेट दर्द, constipation, cramps. cramps होता है कि जैसे आपको रुक रुक के जो पेन होती है, that is known as a cramp. Stool with the excess mucus, that is a white substance, and a blood clots. These all are the symptoms of the amoebic dysentery. That's all about the protozoan disease. Thank you, students. आज तो सर पहले ही